How you doing out there, guys? Welcome to our southern front porch. It's always great to have you here. It's Saturday, Brad is working, and I thought I would just catch up on how the week went, if that's okay with you. Hey, it's Paul for our Southern Front Porch. Welcome this Saturday morning in the thick of the preparation for the grand holiday season. My neighbors, Brad and our neighbors, we came home last night and there was a 25-foot Santa Claus across the front of his house. It basically took almost half of his house, and all kinds of inflatables. I don't have a strong opinion about them because they are effective when they're all blown up, and it is at night. But there's a couple of things that I don't like about them. Is most people don't run them all night, and I don't know how much money it costs to run them all night. I don't like them, so I'm not buying them. But on his lawn this morning, it looks like a dead human and animal act. There's all these deflated jumbo Chinese figures that are now. It's funny though. It looks like somebody shot them overnight, and I don't see any police crossing tape. So I think it must have been an accident. So hopefully he's able to pump some life-giving air into them this evening, and we can get our beautiful big Santa Claus wrapped in all kinds of regalia, and all his minions around him that play. Well, that's exactly what it looks like. So I just went out, and then another thing that happened is, it was real cold here, real cold by Florida standards, or South Florida standards. I think it got down to 50, and we got up to only 66 one day. I kind of liked it personally. I felt re-energized. I wake up this morning at 77 degrees with a dew point of 70. It feels like 87. And it's supposed to go up to 84, which means the dew point's going to be in the low 70s. So we're probably going to be talking about a day that feels like 95. I thought we were finished, for Christ's sakes, with that stuff. But no. We're going to get a 3-day visit from warmth, and then I guess it's supposed to get back down to more seasonal levels. I don't care, personally. What I did yesterday when I came home, this is rich, too. For the last few weeks, I've had a disc that was disjointed, for lack of a better way of saying it. It was subluxed, according to chiropractic terminology. I had subluxation of my spinal cord. Oh my goodness. And it did generate a lot of pain. Well, I had an appointment that I made about 3 weeks ago because I knew it was a rough spot. He was packed, my Dr. Alan Freedman. 954-433-0300 if you have to go to a good chiropractor. He's not engaged with me as a sponsor, except I've known him since he was a cute young thing, hawking his spinal measurements at the Broward County Fair, where I met him and fell in love. He was pretty hot. He's not as hot now, but I still love him. We're good friends. I guess it's been 26 years. Ridiculous. Yeah. No. 36 years. Whoa. I grew up with him. Well, I had a massage scheduled. It was for 11:30. I said, I could do some things around the house, make some phone calls and such. And I started to do that, and then I started to take care of the cat's litter. And then after that, I looked at the clock, and it was 11:15. I said, oh God, I better start scooting. Well, I couldn't find my car keys, so I scattered around looking for them. Turned out they were under the seat of the car, which I must have dropped them on the way taking groceries in. And so I left the house about 28 after 11. I said, well, that's really not going to help much. I said, at best, I could probably get a half-hour massage, which is, I guess, in my easy way of monkey mind thinking, is 15 minutes. Well, I came in about 11:45, and the new receptionist, she was busy. She said, I have patients in front of you that I'm making appointments for and taking care of their needs. You'll have to wait. So I waited, and in about 7 minutes to 12, she said, what can I do for you? I said, well, I had an 11:30 massage appointment. I said, Aaron's probably waiting for me. So she said, well, let me ask. So she went back there. She came back. It was now about 5 minutes to 12, and I guess he said to her, let him in. So I went into the office where he does his massages, and I really needed it in this upper back, and then down by my middle spine, and then into the right side hip. That's where I had fallen a few times at landscape work, which is always so kind to my system. He said, don't even take your shirt off. I said, what? I said, well, I know where you should work. It's the upper left side of my back, and then the just below my waistline in the center, and then to the right was my hip. Well, the son of a gun, he used one hand for one and another hand for other, macerating, trying to break up those spasms. And it actually felt pretty good. I think he put his abilities into high gear, and he started to really work quickly with me. So there was time after that's finished. I said, oh, that was underwhelming. But to remind you, I still felt good now. And so Dr. Freedman put the TENS unit on me with hot packs, and that really felt great. He said, tell me when it's strong enough. Tell me when it's strong. So I guess we got it up to a 75% of the 100 full power, which I never usually do that. I usually take it to 50 to 60%. This time, I said, I'm gonna grit my teeth about a minute or two, and eventually your body gets used to it. The nerve impulses don't become so horrible. So actually, it was good. And after the thing beeps off, after he keeps me on that thing for 10 minutes, beep, 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 he comes in. He said, Rocky, how are you doing? I said, I'm okay. But I'm stiff and I have some pain in some of the areas. He said, well, considering that you're over 30, I'll say, those things will happen. And then he said, get on your back. So he did, and then he started to tussle. I think he put straps on my feet. And no. Put you on your head into the little cradle. Then he put the straps on the feet and stretched the middle of the table. It breaks away sort of, and that feels so good, releasing the pressure on each side of the nerves of the spinal column. If that looks like nerves in a spinal column, it's the best I can do. This is incredibly low tech. I guess I am the kind of guy that can't eat gum and walk at the same time, chew gum and walk at the same time. Oh dear. But anyway, so then he got me on my back, and he says straighten your lower leg, and then the upper leg, turn around, do the same thing, and then he did the neck and pulled it. And I trust him. I mean, I'm used to his strength of how he works. So it really was pretty good. So I come home now. It's about 1:30, and then I do have to pick up some medications. So I better just get that real quick. That was from my family doctor. And then I said, oh, I remembered I had a 2:30 appointment to get. Remember I talked to my dental horror on Friday the 13th? Well, they were going to check the naked gum there and see if the stitches were dissolving, which they were supposed to, and to see how the gum looked. And this Dr. Cunningham, the periodontist, yeah, she works with perio, I guess gums. She said, looks, it's healed better than most people. So I said, well, that's good. I probably adhered to your regimen as to the letter, and I didn't chew anything on that side. I wouldn't even bother with that. So that was good. Got out of there. It was now about 3:45. Got home about 4, and I thought, well, the car looks kind of crappy. It did. I hadn't washed it in a while, and I usually fill up at the mobile station, go get, fill that up and do a $12 The Works car wash, which has a good Rain-X dispenser and supposed to be some better wax for clear coat. And we did that. Okay, I did that. I parked it in the parking lot next to the car wash, so there was nobody bothering me. And I proceeded to use my chamois to dry it down, and and the wheels were a mess. I had bought wheel cleaner and tire cleaner, and then the wheel shine stuff. Well, that stuff was very ineffective. As it went through the car wash, I would have thought it would have washed all that off, but I even put 2 coats on it. It didn't. So the front wheels are always the worst because you get brake dust on them. So I did. I said, let me get the rag out, and when I get home, I'll clean everything, and I did. And so I had filled up 2 wash rags with brake dust and grease and every other kind of crap that you have in there. Then I sprayed the wheels and tires, and it looks good now. I mean, the car's only going to be 13 years old, and it's only got 44,000 miles on it, so I'm pretty proud of that. So here we're going fine, but of course, by now I've already started to overdo things. And what do I do next then is that, gee, the weather's nice and I feel good and I haven't done any gardening. Let me take some of the tropical fruit trees that I have that I'm going to bring to Alabama with me, which are going to eventually be living in a greenhouse, glass house. I'll take some of them out. So I pulled a bayrum tree out, a pitomba tree out, a bemay sapote out, and jackfruit out, a bango out, and this was the worst one, was the nutmeg tree. I had grown that from a little seedling. It was in a little kind of a bonsai octagon pot. Well, I didn't want it to be that way, so I buried it in that planting bed that I had it, and it was, as I was trying to extricate it last night, it was about 8 or 9 inches in the dirt, so I had mulched and put more dirt. And what happened is the roots grew over the pot. I forgot about the pot altogether, and just started to go out into the surrounding soil. Oh, this is not going to be good. Well, I put it the way it was in the pot because I wanted to take it out, eventually, because it doesn't like cold weather, and I think it doesn't like anything below 45, something like that. And I was tugging at this thing and trying to lift the pot up, and half of the roots of the nutmeg tree was still in the soil. Boy, it rooted good. I must have used very good soil. And it finally, I said, I'm going to go under this stupid plant, and then with my hand loosen any roots that are coming from the top of the pot, nutmeg roots, and then just pull it up. Well, I pulled it up so strongly that, you guessed it, my back went out again. And I guess it was even worse because after you have an adjustment and a massage, your muscles are more malleable and you can get into trouble doing something like that. Well, I did. So last night I was walking around like an old man again. It's a little better today, but because I wanted to go out and it was getting dark already. I wanted to water everything in because since you damage the roots, you don't want them to be suffering by having them dry out now because they have to form new root ends. And last night before we went into the house, I threw some rooting powder on all the newly extricated plants that, like I said, I took about 6 out last night. And I watered it a little bit. And then I don't know, there's something that was going on outside. Somebody was just walking around with a Christmas tree in his hand, bringing it down the street. I don't know what the hell that's all about. It's kind of strange. I see somebody with this ridiculous. So so I'm a little screwed up. This is going to be definitely a watch movie day. It's freaking hot out though, and you would think that's a kind of a waste of time to spend in this fabulous paradise climate of 95-degree heat. Well, I can't deal with that right now, so I'm going to just hang out here. Brad will be home, I guess, by 2 or 3. Like I said, we're going over to his mom's tomorrow. Now, you cannot go, they closed their restaurant down since COVID got going, so we're going to cook a crock pot meal, pot roast, old-fashioned Yankee pot roast, and bring that over, and we're going to have dinner at her apartment. Now, we haven't had a visit to her place face-to-face since February. I guess it was Valentine's Day we took her out or something like that. And so therefore, the conversation could take all kinds of weird turns. I have no idea. This is not an emotional woman, but she might be able to surprise us by just the absence letting the heart grow fonder. We talk to her about every week or every other week. I did anyway. And, we talked about a lot of garbage crap, but she was happy to hear from us, and I was, I guess, happy to at least keep in touch, because I know it mustn't have been the most pleasant thing for those people. Anyway, so that's in store for tomorrow. I don't know, like I said, Brad's coming home. We'll probably watch the last episode of season 5 of Schitt's Creek. I love when they do cabaret. It makes me cry all the time. And if you watch Schitt's Creek, when Stevie does Sally Bowes in the end. What a performance she gives. I just love it. Good actress, very good actress, and what a wonderful show. We all start crying, basically. So Brad and I said, he came home last night late. We had tuna fish sandwiches. I said, can you stay up later? He said, no, I'll probably be wasted, so we're going to do that tonight. And we have more tuna fish. I bought some good cold cuts, top round roast beef at Publix, and their Publix sweet ham, which is excellent. So we have enough of a choice to buy to eat. I bought rye bread, Italian bread, hoagie rolls, so we're covered. We don't have to go out of the house. He bought milk. I bought milk. He got cottage cheese. I got cottage cheese. He got an orange juice. I had bought an orange juice. So yeah, see that after 24 and a half years, you do think similarly. So that's our game plan. I hope you have a good weekend too. Don't get too carried up in the buy-itis that's happening now with this holiday season. You know what? It's just not worth it. I'm paying bills that I incurred from the early part of this year and the middle part of this year. I mean, most of them are pretty good, except for the one bill that's $4,149. I think I paid a couple of hundred on it. So I guess we're down to the threes. 3,900, 3,800, something like that is still low. But that's not going to get paid till the summer. So I know I dug a hole, and Brad's been great. I mean, he even sent a check to me into my personal account from Zelle, and he said $1,500 over. I felt like a real creep too, because I had written a check to myself out of the household account for $300, because I was at that time low. So I've got plenty in it now. I might, as a good husband, should give him some back, because it seems, he wanted to help me out, and it would be a shame for me to keep that when he was just trying to do something so nice for me. Don't you think? Or should I keep it? I don't know. I'm not ruthless. I just want to be financially stable, and we have almost everything we need now, save for the bedroom set that I still have on hold from Rooms to Go, but it's doing okay. So we get to the point of the show here where I get to be a pain in the ass to you. Hey, listen, all I want to just to be a pain in the ass to you one more time is think of yourself as number one this holiday season, and remember what I always say, you uniquely are your own best friend. Oh, there's people around who like and love you. If you have a partner, if you have a husband, if you have a wife, if you have kids, they love you. But they don't know what makes you you, all the way to the most, the smallest core of the onion that you have to peel to get to it. Your inner fiber. What makes you fundamentally content? What makes you fundamentally restless and upset? So take care of yourself, since you know what you need, and love yourself like no one else, because you are your own best friend. Remember that. With that said, I'll just say thank you, and I hope your days have blue skies, pleasant memories that you create, a lot of fun, just maybe doing or thinking about some rituals, household rituals, that you will be getting ready for the Christmas in your house, in your own bubble. And I guess it does take the air, so to speak, out of New Year's Eve celebrations, because that's usually not just a one bubble kind of an affair, but do virtual visits like everybody said they're going to do, and be nice to everyone. This is easy time for people to get a little frustrated because of the plethora of shoppers in any environment that you want to pick, whether it's Costco or supermarket or Walmart, it doesn't make any difference. A mess. They're a mess. Target's a mess. Kohl's is a mess. Dillard's is a mess. Macy's is a mess. So be patient. As a matter of fact, if you really don't like the treatment, walk out of the store, come back some other time. You're not anywhere near Christmas yet. You have plenty of time. Take care. We love you and look forward to seeing you early in the week. Just have a real good weekend. Don't be stupid. Don't do anything to jeopardize your health or those around you. We got about another 4 or 5 months of COVID suffering, and after that we could maybe take a sigh of relief and breathe a little bit better. So just remember that, folks. Yeah, your responsibility is to everyone now. And LGBTQ, straight, bi, asexual, whatever you are, just remember that's right now you're thinking of your fellow man, as Christmas should be. And it's not about getting things, it's about giving. So just don't worry so much about somebody shortchanging you on gifts this year, because they're going through the same crap that you are in the supermarkets and the department stores and the discounters. So don't worry about it. Shop online. My Amazon bill's never been higher. I get all these bonus bucks now to pay. Have to almost take a whole chunk of an item. I could almost buy a flat screen TV with all my bonus dollars. I think that's wonderful. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. Appreciate you. Remember, love you. See you soon for our Southern Front Porch. This is Paul saying goodbye. Have a great weekend and look forward to seeing you pretty soon again. Bye-bye.